Hello, everyone, and welcome to science class. We're starting a bit of a little mini project. So, what are we doing? Get out and explore. You're heading to a new geologic time period. This part of this project will be due by April 21st, 2020. So, you'll have this week to work on this on Tuesday and Thursday to finish it and make it look great. So, this introduction video will be here once I make it. But going ahead, you can definitely listen. I'm going to go over with even a little bit more detail of the explanation of the project. Otherwise, it's written here as well. So, scenario, we're sick of our current time period, so we're traveling back in time. You'll use these slides to help learn and then teach others about the geologic time period you choose, and in turn, you'll learn about other time periods from your classmates. It should be accurate, detailed, and attractive. Let's see which time period would be the best to return to. So, the research. These questions are on the following slides, but these are what you're looking for. What's the name of your geologic time period? The options are on the next slide. How many million years ago did this time period start? When did it end? So look that up on the links that we've got for you. Yes, you can use MYA to abbreviate for millions of years ago. Where were the continents located at that time? What was the name? What was the places? So the one that we all know right now is Pangaea. That was located near the equator. That's not where all of the continents were located for all of time. It's not like they just went from Pangaea straight to where they are today. So there were some other continents that existed at other times. Please add that information. What was the climate or environment like during your time period? So was it warm? Was it cold? Was it snowy? Was it mostly water? Could you breathe the air? So you'll need to find that information. And then what types of living things? So like animals, plants, fungus, bacteria, etc. began during that time or are common during your time period. So with those questions in mind, this is what you're going to need to do. Choose a time period. You get to choose your time period. Try to pick one that you've not heard of before. Now, everyone tends to go for Triassic or Jurassic because they're like, T-Rexes. I'm telling you, 100% sure, Jurassic Park got it wrong. T-Rexes didn't even live during the Jurassic time period. So pick a different one if you're going to try and find the T-Rex. Honestly, some of these have bugs that were like 6 feet long, gigantic mushrooms. There are some that had mammoths. There are some that were more devoted to tree life than there was, like plant life, than there were animals. I would pick one that sounds interesting or you've never heard of, because I'll tell you, you're going to find quite a bit of information that might surprise you. So here's some sources for you to use. You can use these links. Now, they look like this because this is how we would cite this. Normally, this project goes over about 2.5 weeks, and we teach you guys how to go through, cite sources. We understand right now we're kind of in a little bit of a different situation, so we kind of pulled the best parts of this project, and we're kind of giving you a little bit of more help so that we're able to do this in a little bit more reasonable amount of time. So these are the two best sources that we recommend students use any year. We do have an additional one here for additional resources. If you go to this, it's a Pathfinder we used last year. So this is when we had students do like everything. So if you're wanting to check out over on the left-hand side, it says online databases or search engines. Please use those first. We're looking to have good sources. So these two that we have on here, those are like top notch. Those are the ones to use first and foremost. If you're still looking for some, please don't just go to Google and then Wikipedia. Click where we've got the click here for additional resources. So after that, here's where your project begins. So your adventure begins in delete that line and put what the time period is, add your name. And then this text box here that's in red, right now or within a few minutes here, go through and please retitle your slideshow. So have it say something like Jenny Carpolinia, the Devonian time period. Caitlin Moradic, the Carboniferous time period. Whatever yours is, please put that up there, and then you can go ahead, click on this box, and see how it's all by itself. Go ahead and delete that. It's more just a note there for you. So then next, what time period are you heading to? What is the name of it? That's what you chose from here. So put that here. When did this time period start? When did it end? So that's where you can find those millions of years ago. Again, use those two good sources on slide number 4. Making it to our next one, you'll be heading to the blank time period, so still the same one that you've got, and it means at the time the continents were located where. Please find an image to add. Now, for any of these you use, even though you're using those two resources we gave you above, or if you find others, at the bottom you'll see it says sources used on this slide. Please make sure you add that. You can delete out the wording in this box, but please make sure you add what source did you find the information in, and then if you got a Google image, which you should, where it says add image, please put the name or the URL from the Google image. Just putting Google doesn't count. I'll show you how to do that in just a bit. So you've got information on the name of the time period, when did it start, when did it end, means the continents were located where. The next slide, the climate you'll be heading to is blank. So this means the environment was. So the climate, was it warm? Was it cold? The environment then was snowy. It didn't have much snow. It was all water. Tell us about that. And then the last slide, you're looking at things that you would see and interact with there. So the animals that you'll get to see, some animals, plants that you'll be on the lookout for. So what are some animals during this time? What were some plants during this time? Add pictures of each. Please look for any URLs or any pictures you use. You need to find that URL. So let's say, so Pangea, I mentioned that's a common, we've heard of that one, Pangea, or I guess there's two ways to spell Pangea, and they're both correct. So if we want a picture of Pangea, that's fine that you go to Google to get the picture. Best would be getting it right off of one of those websites. But if you are going to Google, let's say I really like maybe this picture because it's kind of got them all. How I get that one. So if I go here and I click on it, let's see, share. So I click on, do you see where I've clicked here? If you look kind of in the middle-ish of the page on the right, there's the three dots. There's that little like bookmark thing, and then there's like this little sideways V, that's the share. Click here to copy the link. That's what I want. http://images.app.google. So then when I go here, it'll bring me to this image. It's then I can get to the link here, but it brings me to exactly this image. It's not taking me to Google just randomly. It's bringing me to the specific one. So then I can come over here, copy and paste that link, and there I go. Okay. Make this look really nice. Please ask if you have any questions. Learn a little something new. You're probably going to discover that there was dinosaurs in a time period you didn't realize. You're going to find that there are some plants or animals that existed that were slightly, well, coming off of our adaptations that we've talked about and our mythical creatures from a few weeks back. Maybe we've got some more similarities than we've realized in today's creatures, or maybe we have some that aren't completely the same at all. Whichever, see what you find. You're going to find some cool stuff. Please let your science teacher know if you do have any questions. Otherwise, have a great day.